fuck was that?
I don't know why we're both itching, but
Whatever.
we're itchy. Welcome to episode 4 of What the Fuck Did I Dream Last Night? I'm Jaynee.
And I'm Jess. Hello, guys.
Hi. I hope you guys all had a great Memorial Day weekend.
Yes. I had a pretty good Memorial Day weekend. It was we went to the beach for a little bit, proper social distancing. For the most part, some good sunshine. I got a little vitamin D in my soul.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a whole different world down there than what it is up here in PA.
Yeah, down South Carolina it's a lot different, but everybody's kind of fleeing here, so now I'm a little more panicky now than I was probably 3 months
Yeah,
ago.
that's true because it's like vacation. Everyone's ready to get out.
Everyone's fleeing from the Northeast, which I do not blame them. That's why I live here. So, but
I
it was
mean,
a good Memorial Day. Pretty chill.
we went camping and it was like a whole different world up there too. We were up at Cook Forest and like even like the gas station there that everyone like goes to get like, and there's like a winery next to it and stuff. Like no one was wearing masks in there, and it was just such a nice sense of like normal.
There's a lot to be said for that. You know,
I've been taking my daughter out with me a lot more though.
that's
So
good.
like today we went to Aldi's again. I'll bring up Aldi's, the grocery shop. But she fake coughs now and she wants you to imitate it. So the whole time we're walking
Oh,
through, I'm like, she's fake coughing. I'm like, can we just not do that right now? Like
that's
anything else. You want to
that's.
scream in here? That's fine. But can we just not fake cough?
I don't know where kids learn to do that. Maybe they see sneezing as a cough, because I feel like sneezing is a very attention-getting, you know,
Yeah.
behavior. But when somebody coughs, it's not like I say bless you or even comment unless they're looking like they're going to die. Now I do, but I mean, I feel like I know a lot of kids who've done that, and it's like so cute. But then I guess not during a world pandemic. So
No, let's
sorry,
just not
sorry,
cough right
Mama.
now.
Man,
Uh-huh.
well, I'm glad
That
you had
was
a good
fun.
weekend. Did you get some R&R and get some good dreams during that restful time?
I had one very long crazy dream and I can't wait to tell you all about it. Like, and it's not the one
Oh,
I'm talking about today, but you like I'm not going to mention names when I do finally talk about it, but I know you're going to be like I need a post-it note of what that name is and you're going to die.
those ones are fun, especially we've had some listeners who try to guess who that person is.
Yeah.
Our secrets are forever safe. Unless you really crack the code, maybe we will let it go. Well, great. Well, what do you have lined up for us today?
So, I am going to talk about um it's a dream about camping. So,
Perfect.
I felt like it was a good one to do.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have it while I was camping. I probably had it like, well, I can tell you that it was before I knew if we were even going to be able to go because I didn't know if like camping facilities were going to be open.
Okay.
So that's where we begin. No disclaimer needed. It's just a random one. You're in this dream though.
Yes. Killing it.
um, so we're going camping. My husband is in his truck and he's pulling our camper. And I'm in a truck with Dennis, who is the one who does barbecue where I work. And I have no clue why. Ironically, I'm wearing an Eat My Pork shirt tonight too, and it has Dennis's picture on it.
Woo! Shout out.
um, so he's coming with us to the campground, and I'm driving with him. And Trevor makes a turn off a road, and I'm like, Dennis, we need to follow him. Like, he's going to get wood. And he's like, no, no, no. I have enough wood. Like, we don't need to get more wood. Like, it's fine. And I look at the back of his truck, and he has like 5 pieces of wood. Like, that is not gonna like it's gonna cook us maybe some dinner tonight,
Yeah.
but he says it's enough. So, and I mean, I'm not in control. I don't know. I'm not riding with my
Yeah.
husband.
Aye, aye,
So
Captain.
sounds good. I'll be buying wood this week. But so Dennis is only coming with us too because he has an extra camper, I guess. Like, he legit just drops it off and leaves. Like, that's it. Like, and I rode with him. He just dropped his camper off. at the campground. And the campground that we were at is my grandma's backyard.
Huh.
So and we
Adventurous.
pull
You're really going all out for this.
uh, yeah, I mean yeah. Yeah. Um So we pulled the campers up in the yard, and I was like, my pap is going to be so mad that we are putting our campers in his yard, like, because I was like, he's going to haunt us.
Hmm.
So recently, my pap passed away about like 2 months ago, and he
Mhm.
cared, like, this is real life. He cared so much about his lawn. So I thought, like, even in my dream mode, I was like, we're going to kill his grass.
So
He's
I
going to be
was
mad.
going to say after you, so I know both of your grandparents, and they both have beautifully kept lawns. And I will say for any of you who live in the north and you move south, you take a good looking lawn for granted. A good green, luscious, grassy lawn. It is a lot of upkeep and effort to do that in the south that I have yet to figure out. So when you said like camping in the backyard, I was poking fun at you at first, but I was like, man, they have some good looking yards. So shout out to your pap and grandma, other grandma. But so your pap, you're so worried that your pap was gonna come
Yeah.
come haunt you because you're ruining his beautiful lawn.
Yeah. And like my grandma in my dream wasn't home either. So like I feel like we were just like being sneaky, like, let's just go camp here.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband finally gets there, and his sister, my sister-in-law, and then my husband's best friend are there now too. And there's definitely a couple other people with us, but it's just one of those like a blur.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which side note, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I want to mention it because have you heard about how you can't make up a mind, like you can't make up a face in your dream?
Yes,
Like
I just read that and I thought that was fascinating.
so, and I haven't like looked into it a lot, but recently I've been really thinking about that because I had a different dream recently where like I remember this guy's face like perfectly, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know him, but like I just find that really interesting.
I
How
do, and I forget where I read it, but they said also that you're the case for somebody else. So like a stranger you pass in the grocery store, like you're in their dreams as well,
right?
and it's just kind of funny to think about.
I found that interesting, which I definitely want to look more into that, but I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I think yeah, we'll dive more into that another episode to keep on
Mm-hmm.
track.
Yeah. So like I said, there was other people there, but they were a blur. And I have been drinking, and I'm like I pass out, like I'm blackout drunk,
Hmm.
and I fall asleep on top of my pop up, and it's like it's not even popped up yet, but like that's where I fall asleep at. And then when I wake up, we're now at a real campground, which is Pioneer Park, which is a place that like we camp all the time. And when I woke up and I'm there, I find out somehow that my husband broke up with me, and that my mother-in-law made my sister-in-law come camping with us because she knew that he was going to do it on this trip.
Mm.
So I guess like either I missed some stuff in my dream that I don't remember, or I was just blackout drunk and I just like woke up and I was like, that's why I got blackout drunk. Maybe that's why I was not in his truck.
Mm. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and then now somehow like my dream just takes like a leap.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm in a car with you, Hayne, and a few of our other high school friends, like Chris and Zach were there, and your husband Cam were there. And we're driving around trying to find something to do. And we stop at this gas station because I wanted to pick up cigarettes and I forgot my mask. But I was like, fuck it, life sucks, I'm going in. And you guys were so upset with me that I made you stop there. Like, you were angry. And I'm like, listen, y'all hate me, but my husband just left me, so I don't care.
Snap, this is getting dark.
It's not dark. I just get bitchy in it. I don't know. I feel like I have a right to be bitchy. I'm probably also hungover as ever.
That's true. I forgot you blacked out. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in line, and like the line is so long in the gas station, and like the gas station that
I
I'm
love
at,
that that's a detail. Like, you're
like
very, like, "Oh my god," as if this doesn't suck enough. Of course, the gas station line would be endless.
it gets better. And the gas station I'm at, like this is for you to know, Hayne, is like, do you remember the Dandy Dollar?
Oh, yes.
Like that's where we were.
I love Dandy Dollar.
Um,
Oh my god.
so all right.
Dandy Dollar was a little,
Yes,
like, mom and pop store growing up, guys, and, like, you could just get, like, random stuff, and it had this delightful smell, and I would just get, like, random pieces of bubble gum, and,
I
there's
used to
a gas
stop
station
there
right
like
next to it. Oh, it was
with
great.
Cam's parents, like your mother-in-law, like before
Mhm.
school, and they would pick out like zebra cakes to take in their
Ugh,
like.
they just had it was just delightful, and then they always so delightful. I wonder, are they
Now
still
it's like a car
open?
repair shop. No,
Oh,
it's like a car repair shop.
so sad. I'm gonna open a Dandy Dollar down here. Call it Dandy Dollar.
um, so I'm in line in this long line, and Zach starts banging on the window of the store door, and he's like, "Let's go! I have to pee. Like we can't do this. We can't wait." So I left, and I stole this cat. I did not steal a
There
cat.
is a cactus.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong. I stole this cake snack, which is probably why I dreamt it now because I just brought up.
Now I want a zebra cake, damn it.
And man, I used to put pretzel sticks in my zebra cakes and pretend it was a birthday. Blow them out.
That's great. That's like the saddest thing I've ever heard. Ah, shoot.
Fun fact. Oh man. So I steal this. I don't know. Now it's gonna be a zebra cake because screw it. And I didn't mean to, so I walked back into the store and I was like, "I'm sorry, here you go." And I just like walked past the line and like threw it on the counter, like I didn't mean to steal this. So next we end up at this movie theater and everyone's like, "Yeah, let's go to the movies." And I'm freaking out, like I'm not going to movies. I just want to go to the store, and I also have to pee so bad but we only cared about Zach, and I'm just flipping out on you guys.
Get your own zebra
So I
cake.
just wanted a damn zebra cake and cigarettes.
The key to success, zebra cake and cigarettes.
The first thing I would do if my husband ever left me.
The key. Girls, you want to get over a heartbreak? Zebra cakes and cigarettes.
So I just get out of the car and I walk to like this mall place and like fast forward through a little hazy part. I'm in this like pink room covered in like sticky sugar in like what I believe is like a game show. Like it was like a dating show.
All right.
And like I know. There's only like another sentence in this
This
dream.
is
I know
so
it's like
beautiful.
we
This
go.
is actually very beautifully connected, though. Like, it seems super random, but they are subtly connected.
Yeah. So and I'm covered in like that sticky sugar shits or whatever. And I went up to like and this girl like went to kiss me and then backed away. And then I turned to like to another guy and then he went to kiss me and then I woke up. So I feel like it was like some weird like dating like I don't know.
All right.
Random zebra cakes.
Super randomness there.
Yeah.
So do you have any great insights to your dream?
No.
No. Yeah, that was like a definite me dream.
Like but well so you know how we've been referencing like that's so Raven, how we've been able to tell the future though?
Mm-hmm.
We claim. My grandma calls me a few days after I had this dream and was like, if you can't go camping, you guys could just come camp in my yard. Like if the state parks aren't open. And I was like, Grandma, I just had a dream about this that we camped in your yard.
Oh, wow.
So I felt like this made me look into about precognitive. Is that how you say that? Precognitive? Now I've
Precognitive
been
dreaming.
yeah, now that I've been like saying it to myself to say it out loud, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, Probably
Weird
should have
word.
practiced that.
And it has been, so I don't know how much of this we've relayed to our listeners. I think a little bit. But the more we are sharing dreams, like a lot of them do like foresee something. It's not nothing relevant or grand, but it's one of those, holy crap, I just had a dream about that.
Yeah, like
And
I
like
had a
it's
little
crazy.
dream, um,
Not that I'm saying we're
and it was
psychics, please don't think we're totally nuts, but it's just interesting.
well, no, and like I had a dream too about I had to get these green onions to Sue-Ann down at the pizza
Yeah.
shop because they needed these green onions, and I was like, we don't even sell green onions. Like I don't even know.
You
Like we
don't
use
put green
nothing down
onions.
there requires green onions.
Yeah.
But then they were doing like a special with lamb sandwiches, and they were giving a green onion with it that
In
next
real
weekend.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in real life.
Like
I
after
was
you had
like,
that dream.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Um, so precognitive, help me out again.
Precognitive.
Precognitive, guys. I'm gonna just butcher this word the whole time I
It's
talk.
okay.
So just deal with it, accept it. I'll blame it on the heat.
There you go.
They're dreams that appear to predict the future, like through a sixth sense. And I'm not saying that the dreams that we talked about have predicted anything. Like, I think the reason I dreamt that we camped at my grandma's is because a few years ago, my aunt traveled, and she sells like her arts, and she parked her RV, like her little, it wasn't an RV, it was like her little Winnebago,
Mm-hmm.
um, in my grandma's backyard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So like
that
that
makes
is something.
right.
So like there was a connection of why I probably dreamt.
Right.
But I believe most of our dreams have fallen into intuitive dreams,
Okay.
like that. Yeah, and they express like our innermost hopes and fears based on unconscious information that we may or may not have
Okay.
be repressing. So one of like the examples I found of like a dream like that would be somebody had a dream that they were pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and they have been trying to be pregnant or trying to get pregnant and everything, and then 3 weeks later they found out that they are pregnant. So it's not like predicting the future. It
Right.
just
It's something that's been on their mind for a while.
yes.
So
Um
basically your intuition, right? Is that kind of what the
yes.
okay.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's like yeah. Uh so I did dig into some like, and these have nothing to do with my dream, but I just got into this and started like
Yeah.
really
Once you
researching about it.
researching it, it starts to get really interesting.
Yeah. So there are in like your precognitive dreams, your intuition dreams. So if you like ever had the feeling about like deja vu,
Mm-hmm.
which is such a weird feeling to me,
Mm.
like it could play into that you have dreamt it or something, dreamt that scenario or something about that scenario, which could be a link to deja vu.
Okay.
Deja vu is a whole nother thing that I was looking into though, and I was like, I can't talk about all of this in one
Yeah.
episode.
To be continued.
Yes, because deja vu definitely intrigues me because I always recall this one thing about deja vu when I was a kid, spinning on this stool like on my stomach and spinning,
Mm-hmm.
and like I just was like, I did this before. I did this before. Like, and like yes, I'm sure I have done that before, but like that exact
That moment. Mm-hmm.
feeling. Yeah. So we'll cycle back to precognitive dreams. And there are some famous ones that have happened that I wanted to talk about. The first one would be Abe Lincoln. He had a dream that he was assassinated like 2 weeks before
Mm-hmm.
that he was actually assassinated. So his dream was he found himself in the White House. He took a stroll to the East Room. A group of soldiers and several mourners were surrounding a covered corpse. Curious, Lincoln asked one of the soldiers who the body belonged to which the soldier replied, "The president. He was killed by an assassin." About 2 weeks later, he was assassinated.
Assassinated. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. Assassinated. Killed.
Okay, but the president, he was killed by an assassin.
Yeah. But you said
So I
he was
asked her.
assassined. He was
I did.
assassinated.
Yeah, so 2 weeks later, he was
There you
assassinated.
go.
Listen, bitch, I had that word written on there. Guys, I suck at talking.
You did
Like,
not
I
suck at
suck at
talking.
pronouncing
You did
things.
not suck at talking.
I don't suck at talking. I talk too much. I suck at pronouncing.
It's okay. I just felt like I had to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I did, for the record, I wrote assassin. It was just right below assassin. And I actually hate this word because it's just like ass in.
It is. It's just like killed. I mean, why are you trying to be fancy? Not you.
Because he was.
I guess.
I'm not trying to be fancy.
Wait, time out. Why do we never say assassinated for like common folk? It's always like the president or like the prime minister was assassinated. Why isn't it like, little Miss Betty Joe down the street? It was a drive-by shooting. Was assassinated.
Because no one wants to say ass in.
only politicians. What to say ass in? You cracked it. Okay, anyway, sorry. Sorry guys, sorry. Well, I love that dream though. So we'll and shortly we'll get into what I'm doing, but um I actually came across that dream about Abraham Lincoln through my
Mhm.
research, and I just think that's fascinating. It's also, poor Abe, but and I think it's cool that we know that because so much nowadays is like in a text or like a Snapchat that goes away, and like who's reading through
Mhm.
everybody's texts? I guess an assassination or a murder they would, but or it's like a cell phone. But back in the day, like people wrote letters, so like everything's that's how we know so much.
Well, and plus, like, use the word assassinate versus drive by
Yeah, like they just spoke so much
draws attention.
cooler and more formal. Yeah, like I'm like writing you a letter. I'm like, yo, Jaynee, there was this drive by the other day. Like when I lived in the city, we moved in. I was like, oh my god, there is a drive by. Thank God. And then I called 911 and they were busy. The only time I've ever had to call
What?
911, they were like busy because like everybody in that area was calling 911. That was terrifying. Um,
You called 911 when we worked at
I did,
Jaynee.
but it was the first time I needed it for myself.
Oh.
I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time a lot. Story of my life.
Knock on wood. I'm not saying it, but I feel like you guys all know what I was going to
Yep,
say. So,
yep.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
did you come?
On to the
Yeah.
next one. This is about the Titanic. We all know the Titanic crashed, like it collided with the iceberg and
What?
sunk. And there
Spoiler
were.
alert. Jeez.
Oh, sorry, guys. I got the VHS probably still here on two separate things. You can watch it. How long that movie was.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Uh, um, so there were many individuals that dreamt about the ship crashing, like before it did. Uh, and some of them even had tickets to be on the
Mm.
Titanic, and they canceled because of their
Mm.
dream. Now, this was a lot of people came forth like after the fact and like said like, "Oh, I had this dream. I had this that happened."
Mhm.
And you have to like keep in mind that it was big news to have a ship like that be sailing that far. So like people would be nervous to get on it probably. Like if so they would be having like anxiety about that too. So you just have to keep in mind like this isn't all
Right.
facts, but not facts, I want to say.
I wonder if they had like survivor's guilt from that. That dives into a whole other thing. I'm really into the psychology aspect right now from my research that I did that you guys will hear.
Um Okay, so the next one I found was about Mark Twain, the American writer. His brother, Henry, and him worked on riverboats on the Mississippi. Mark dreamt about his brother's corpse lying in a metal coffin in his sister's living room, and it was rested on two chairs with a bouquet with a single crimson flower in the center. He told his sister about this dream, and weeks later, his brother died in an explosion on a riverboat. Other people have died or died too in the accident, and they were buried in a wooden coffins. But an onlooker felt pity for Henry, and she raised money for a metal
Hmm.
coffin. And at the funeral, Mark saw the coffin, and it was just like his dream. And while he was standing at the casket, a woman placed a bouquet with a single rose in the middle.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That one's a little much for me.
Right?
Though it is Mark Twain, right? He's,
Yeah.
Mr. Creative. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, like, when you hear recounts like that and how accurate they are.
Mm-hmm.
That was me doing the mind blown sign, guys. So I think especially so that it kind of ties into what my dream and what my discussion's about. So my stuff's a little bit different today. Um, so I had a dream. So mine's a little bit different this time. The dream is very, very short, but it kind of dives into more research about what the dream entails. So I had a dream a couple weeks ago that I was driving in a car and I was the driver and I lost control of the car and it swerved and I ran into a tree and then I woke up. Um, and I knew leading up to the tree, like I could see that I was going to run into it. I didn't like pass out at the wheel or anything. And it was actually like a napping dream, which I always think are interesting that I napped so hard I had a
Yeah.
dream. And there's a lot of interpretation you can do about, maybe there's car accident dream interpretation versus death dreams, but I watched a movie where somebody got in a car accident. So I know that's why I had the dream. Um, but it made me think back. I always wake up before I die in my dreams. So whether it's an invader in my house or it's an accident like that or I'm about to fall, like a fall that would kill me, I always wake up. I don't actually die in my dream or pass away or pass on. And for a long time, I think at one point when I was young, and tell me if you've been told this, I was told you couldn't die in your dream, not like literally die in real life, but that people don't like see themselves die in their dreams. They always wake up.
I've I've heard
Yeah.
that
So
too.
I think
People have
my
told me
mom,
that.
I think parents maybe tell their children that when they have like a nightmare so they don't get worried. And obviously if somebody physically died in their dream, like we wouldn't know
That
because
means
they're,
they
you know,
yeah, because that's what I've heard too. Like if you dream that you died, then you
yeah.
actually like you are
So,
dead.
I started looking into this and between like psychologists and neurobiologists and all that fun stuff, um, there's a lot of kind of research into this. So I found that a lot of people do have dreams where they literally pass on in their dream. So they
Okay,
die.
I don't know anything about this, so
Yeah, I did not know, and I think it's actually more common than I would think. And anybody listening to this, I want to know, please let me know if you've had a dream like this. So
yeah,
I personally have never died in my dream. And so I'm going to start with, I kind of broke this down into there's people who do not die in their dream, like me. There's people um, who die in their dream and they do not immediately wake up. So they actually pass and they like go through the process of passing in their dream.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I was
interesting.
like, what?
I would not be
Yeah,
okay with that.
but so it's interesting. So I'll get to that. So for those who do not die in their
Okay.
dream, like myself, so this is where interpretation can say, we've talked about this before. Death dreams are often signify change, and I know you and I were talking about this briefly once, that especially in a lot of cultures, whether it's Native Americans, whether it's even in the book of Genesis, I think there were like you could predict dreams were predictive and kind of like you talked about. Um, so in the sense, if you die, whether it's you wake up before you die or you pass away, dreams are often signify change. So for those who do not pass away, but they wake up before they die, it could be that you're on the very cusp of change. Um, and this was cited by, it was an article in the New York Magazine, and it's the website called The Cut. And the author was Katie Barone, but she interviewed this professional dream analyst and author, Lori Quinn Lowenberg. I don't know if you've come across her work at all, but she goes into
No.
a lot of the interpretation. And I have to admit, it gets very redundant. It's like, it signifies this kind of change, or a change you're unhappy with, or a change that your husband, it's like kind of very dumbed down, in my opinion. I'm not impressed with it. Um,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
so I want to dive more into people's experiences with it. So for me, most of my dreams that involve dying are usually either like violent or something that gets my adrenaline going. And I think that's what physically wakes me up. And that's what a lot of the kind of the research that I had come across found. So it's basically like an adrenaline driven wake up. Some people interpret it as a fear of dying. I don't know if I could say I have a fear of dying per se. I think I have as fear as much as the general person, but I don't know. I don't think I've done enough soul searching to completely fight that theory yet.
Yeah, I feel like
I think it's more of the fear of leaving my loved ones behind. Um,
yeah, I definitely have a fear of dying, but
Somebody,
I don't think it's
yeah, I guess,
as a huge fear.
I guess I wouldn't say it's like one of my top
It's
fears. I never really thought about it, but I think I just,
I know there's other people out there that fear it
right.
a lot more, but like I
But I don't have that
definitely
many
have a
dreams
fear.
about death, so maybe that's why.
I don't
So
either.
and then some people see it as, so I said a fear of dying, and then other times it's just more of this like a physical adrenaline. And I think for me it's both. So like another one I can think about was like somebody
Mhm.
walking into my bedroom and like had a gun, like my actual bedroom, which is terrifying. And there was in those dreams I had to wake up
Yeah.
twice. Um, but way more interesting are people that pass in their dreams. So they actually die and they go through the process of passing. And the article I referenced in the New York Magazine, they interpret that sometimes as a peaceful change, especially if you feel yourself kind of leaving your body. It can be a change that truly transformed you. Again, I'm not a big fan of this interpretation. Um, but you would think a dream about death that you're actually feeling yourself passing would be kind of terrifying, right? Or lonely or frightening.
Oh, for sure.
So there was an article I read by in Psychology Today, and it's by Seth Gillihan. He's a PhD, and it's entitled "What Dreams of Your Death Are Really About," quite literal. And he has this fascinating dream. It was his own dream, and he was in an airplane crash, and basically he knew the plane was going to crash. Um, and in my situation, this is where I would typically wake up because like the adrenaline and the fear. Um,
Yeah.
but the moment that the plane, like he knew it was going to crash, I'm kind of partially quoting it here, but he closed his eyes. There's a cloud of dust and debris washed over him, and he wanted to die. In his dream, he knew he wanted to die thinking about what he loved. So he brought to mind like his son and his family, and that we wait for death like we wait for sleep. And in his dream, he literally felt euphoric, and he was going to join everything he loved, he said. So when the actual crash came in his dream, like he felt no pain. He never lost consciousness. He just basically passed through, quote, purplish space into the stars. And it felt like the spirits of everyone he loved, dead and alive, were there. And he was joining them. And when he woke up, he was crying, but not because it was sad, but because it was, quote, sublime. And that was just very unreal to me. So he must be.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
wish I could interview this.
That
Yeah,
gave me
I
like
wish I could
goosebumps.
interview this guy because he must be. I wonder if he's a lucid dreamer. And for our lucid dreamers out there, let me know, please, if you've had anything like this. So he references a study that I was. This is an older study. It's from I guess 1989, and it's by someone named Deirdre Barrett, another PhD, and it's called Dreams of Death. And it's a journal article basically.
Hmm.
And she did this study where she asked participants if they've ever had dreams of death and kind of the details of it. And she said the overwhelming majority had peaceful dreams of death. So, not that guy wasn't the only one. Which is, again, like you
Yeah,
said
yeah.
it when I mentioned a dream that you're actually passing, like that's terrifying. But most of them had very peaceful experiences. Um, and then you have some people where she kind of briefly touched on, whether it's a young adult, a young healthy adult, if they had a dream about death versus somebody who's terminally ill versus somebody older versus somebody who's, might have mental illness or problems with depression, they tend to dream more about death. But
Hmm.
even despite all of those, that whole category, the majority of people um, had pleasant dreams about it.
That like this might sound odd to say, but like it was almost like comforting to
Yeah.
hear that. Maybe because I haven't personally experienced that like in my dreams, and I don't really dream that I'm dying really in my dreams that I can recall, but I have dreams that like loved ones
Mm-hmm.
around me
Yeah.
are dying or that have died or
Mm-hmm.
passed or like
And that the dream analyst I was referencing, Miss Lowenberg, she kind of firmly believes that she goes through these paragraphs, and again, it's in the New York Magazine, The Cut. She kind of says over and over again, she references the death of a child, the death of a loved one, the death of a partner, and kind of says what each interpretation means. And they're very similar. It's just tweaked a little bit. And I'm kind of reading this and I'm kind of
yeah.
unimpressed and, kind of calling BS. But then I'm contrasting the type of dreams I have about death versus these people that have peaceful dreams about death. And I always thought I was very comfortable with the dying process. Like I have a lot of like interest in palliative care and hospice care. But now I'm kind of questioning myself, like
Yeah.
maybe this lady's, I know I'm calling her BS, but I'm wondering if you wake up before you pass, if it really is speaks to how you feel about death and kind of your fear of it and your emotions towards it. And that the study that was done, again, the majority of people had pleasant dreams, but the remainder of dreams, she said, focused more on the process of death, and it seemed to illustrate the struggle to achieve an acceptance of mortality. So I don't think mine focuses on the process, but I think it probably falls in that latter category, like the trouble with death and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely I want to check out that article by her. Like, I could definitely see how it could be redundant and just like tweaking like this or that
And I say that I
about
think
it.
until I have a dream like
But
that, and then I can look back to it. So maybe we can, as
yeah,
time moves forward, we can kind of reference back to that.
yeah, yeah. Because I had a dream recently that I do want to cover, and it does involve someone dying in my dream, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
me, and I actually wasn't even like with
Mm-hmm.
them. It was weird, but I definitely think I want to look at that article before I share
Yeah,
that one with
and
you
I
guys.
know, and we can touch base on this again because you can really expand this. So I think I'm just kind of on the tip of the iceberg. Not that I want to make our podcast about death and dreams and whatnot, but like death dreams, I mean. But I think the
Yeah,
overwhelming evidence shows, kind of we circle back, and if somebody has a dream that seems messed up or scary, I think one of our big goals is to kind of reassure people that that doesn't mean you're depressed, perhaps, or struggling with mental illness. And if you are, maybe it kind of will heighten you to get help. But it seems like the majority of
yeah.
these dreams that involve death are positive. They're
It's like
positive.
the opposite.
Yeah, which I would never think about.
Yeah, the opposite of what you would
Um,
think.
and again, mine
Yeah.
was kind of, I just watched a movie on it. So when I started diving into this research, I was like, well, mine was pretty literal. Like it was just my brain processing that. It was just a memory, basically, like whoop-de-doo. But now I'm kind of digging
Yeah.
deeper that why do I never die in my dreams? And I mean, I've had a dream with a loved one where like I was with them in what I thought was the afterlife. And I kind of had that overwhelming euphoric sensation. And I also woke up crying, kind of very similar to what this
Mhm.
man described. But um, I did not feel myself pass actually in the dream. I just kind of ended up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think, I think we'll probably dig a little more into that based on dreams we have in the future.
For
But
sure.
if
Yeah.
anybody has had,
We both went like
if anybody's,
good.
like I said, if anybody has had dreams about this, or if you're a lucid dreamer and you've experienced this, I think like knowing what your physical sensation was from your dream is just mind blowing to me.
Yes.
So yeah.
For sure. I want to circle back real quick and just mention that I got some of my like research and stuff from luciddreamsociety.com and worldofluciddreaming.com, and in that second one that it's like world dash of dash lucid dash
Gotcha. Hmm.
dreaming.com. Just want to make that
Yeah.
more clear.
There's so many.
And they had a bunch of interesting
Yeah,
things on there.
it's crazy to hear people's different theories and different experiences. So let us know what you guys have, and if there's anything you
Yes.
want to
And
hear
I'm
about. We do some random dreams. I think this is the first one we did kind of more research based. So if there's anything in
yeah.
particular that you want us to kind of look up and look into, please let us know.
Yeah. So Monday I saved
Hmm.
my You're a
Hmm.
Badass thing, and just because it starts off
Perfect.
about a dream, so I figured I'd share
Absolutely.
this one with you guys. Have you ever had a dream where you're having such a blast, but then you realize, hey, wait a minute, I'm flying, I can't fly? Then you come crashing back down to the ground and you can't get yourself back up again? No matter what you try, this is the way beliefs work, even if it seems impossible. You have to have faith anyway. And the second you stop believing, you pop the bubble and stop attracting the magic in your
Hmm.
life. I just thought that was fun. And since it said dream, I thought we would share
It
it
is
today.
fun. That's a good one. Well, great. Awesome.
I also am not a lucid dreamer, but I wonder if
I've come across the more I look into this, ways to become a lucid dreamer. And I think I need to dedicate
yeah.
some time here to do that in the near future. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
great. Well, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. You guys can follow us on our Instagram at WTF Did I Dream Last Night? Send us your personal dreams to WTF Did I Dream Last Night at Gmail so we can read them here for you guys when we start our Dream Mail episodes. And if you have Apple Podcasts, if you could leave a review for us, we'd greatly appreciate it, guys. But thanks so much.
Until next time, happy dreaming.